Alright, so in today's video, we are going to be checking out some poorly written relationships like Sasuke Sakura, Amber, and Mark from Invincible. Then we're going to compare them to some of the better written ones like Light Yagami and Misa, and even the more casual level ones like Orihime Ichigo. Right, so the first thing I gotta say in this entire thing is the clear fact that Sasuke tried to literally end Sakura's life multiple times, and they still kind of pretended that they were always meant to be. Dude tried to literally kill her more than I think 4 or 5 times, and then they still pretend like, oh, this is some great relationship, like one of the best relationships in fiction. In reality, it is just forced fan service. That's my opinion. I don't care what any Sakura fan has to say. You can tell that it's so forced. Even when she does marry the character, he leaves her, he gets her pregnant and leaves her alone for 10 years. Like, meanwhile, Naruto and Hinata are having the best time of their life, you know, being a married couple, which is kind of hilarious.
It do actually be like that indeed. Now there is like some people trying to analyze it in a good light in a way, no pun intended, because light is in here.
Yeah.
But literally most of the things don't change beyond the fact that like either one, Sakura and Sasuke haven't seen each other for like quite a while now, ever since they were like kids, and like, you know, next time they see each other, Sasuke's trying to kill her every chance he got.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny, I saw this meme here where Sasuke's like, Kishimoto, why would you force me to be with this pink-haired stalker? Even Karin would have made more sense, for fuck's sake. And a lot of fans agree with this. Like, the only reason Sakura and Sasuke ended up together is because shippers were acting like rabid animals, constantly emailing the writers and the staff and harassing them, harassing the voice actors, and then eventually that caused a shift in the writing. That again is bad writing. It's not natural. It's not natural for a character like Sasuke to end up with someone that he tried to kill multiple times. I think Sakura should have grown up and become like much more of a mature character, realizing that this guy is no good for me, and maybe trying to focus on bettering herself or something, and picking someone else out of all of the characters that she could have been in a healthy relationship with. But instead, they just made her into, again, this simp, you know, this thirsty Sasuke-kun simp. And this is how she ended up. She ended up alone because of it. And yeah, sure, he comes back in the picture, I think 11 years later. But that's still 11, that's a decade of her life gone. You know, she just got pregnant by this dude, and he just disappeared for like a decade. That doesn't sound like love at all. That's not love in any way. And I don't care what anyone says, but that's bad writing, because you have Sasuke, a character who is faster than light, doesn't even come home to visit her once. There's no part of the world that this dude should be in that he cannot visit his pregnant wife. He just never visits her. Man.
In fact, he's not even present so often that I think he like doesn't even know how Sarada looks like.
Yeah. The first time he saw her, he didn't even realize that it was his own kid, which is fucking hilarious. And then he spends more time with Naruto's son than his own child. So they keep showing, you know, that this relationship just doesn't work. But somehow the fans, again, these lonely ass losers, keep claiming, oh, this is the best written relationship in fiction, you know, and then they cry and get angry whenever people like me and you point out the obvious. This is poorly written. It's just, I've seen fanfic that treat Sasuke and Sakura's relationship with far more grace and like respect, written in a much better way than what Kishimoto has done, which is kind of hilarious as well. Anyway, let's move on to
The bar is so low, though.
the what?
the bar is so low though. Oh, he's present. That's like the least Sasuke could do.
Yeah.
He has teleportation jutsu.
The thing is,
But like,
he can literally teleport and still doesn't visit his wife and kid, which is hilarious. So I want to try move on to Misa and Light Yagami, and this is the correct way to write a toxic relationship, because almost every instance you see Light and Misa, you can tell this dude is not having it. He is not interested. He is just using her for his benefit. And this is what a one-sided relationship should look like, and it's written so well that people don't notice. You don't see people having a problem with this dynamic because it's clear cut compared to something like this garbage. You know, 1 minute this dude is trying to end her life, and then the next minute you expect the audience to believe he's always been deeply in love with her. That makes no sense. It's stupid. It doesn't line up to the characters in the story at all. Okay, so when you look at the way Misa and Light Yagami interact in the story, it is very clear that Light Yagami does not give a fuck about her. And if, let's say, Light won and he survived the end of Death Note, and him and Misa ended up together, married, and all this bullshit, it would have been just as bad as Sasuke Sakura. But I'm happy they didn't do that. I'm happy that Light was eventually figured out to be a freaking maniac, you know, and the relationship just never worked. That is good writing. That's what good writing looks like. You got any thoughts on this?
In fact, I think the way it was written actually kind of adds more layers for like us hating on Light for real. Although some others might actually you know, just find it, just be into it for like being freaks. But other than that, we're like normal people for real. This relationship just adds layers to Light, and actually a little bit of tragedy to Misa, because she kills herself at the end of Death Note. Like actually for real, it adds more layers to both characters than what Sasuke and Sakura does on the regular.
Yeah, they do oh, go ahead.
I think Sakura and Naruto getting together, I don't like their ship, if I'm being completely honest here.
Yeah,
but
neither do
low-key, I think it makes more sense for Naruto and Sakura to eventually get together instead of Sakura getting together with Sasuke.
It do make more sense, but I would have hated it because Naruto treated Sakura like as a real friend for such a long time. He saved her life so many times in the show of Naruto, and she just shot on him every step of the way. She never changed really. She still, even in her adult years, were putting hands on him, you know, and I know people play that off for jokes. Oh, it's just funny. You know, Sakura punching him until his nose bleeds. It's funny, haha. It's not fucking funny. It's not funny, it's never been funny. It's been cringe the entire time, and fans have hated it for years. So if they ended up in a relationship, I would have hated their dynamic very similarly to how I hate the dynamic between Amber and Mark Grayson. I hate this dynamic because, again, it is one-sided in the same way. These characters, well, specifically Amber, treats Mark like absolute garbage for whatever misinformation she has in her fucking noggin over here. It's just stupid the way she treats him, you know. And it would have been I would have had a similar feeling of hate if Sakura ended up with Naruto, because she would have still continued treating him like, punching him like a punching bag and shit. I think that would have been very upsetting, but it still does make more sense than Sakura and Sasuke.
That's just the point I wanted to show off, really.
I think
Sakura's not even present. He doesn't even do the bare minimum to maintain a relationship. Sakura is just there because God knows why. Any normal person would have just dipped.
Yeah, they would have grown up and moved on. They would have definitely grown up and moved on, especially if Sasuke has tried to take her life multiple times. Like, so when someone tries to kill you, you don't brush that off and be like, oh my god, I still love you. That's fucking retarded. Alright, so we're gonna move on to Mark Grayson and Amber here. Amber heard she's gonna take a shit on his bed. Oh no. Anyway,
Oh my god.
alright, and the thing is, I gotta say that I truly hate this character. I hate the character not just because of her bad attitude, but the way they made her do like a complete 180 and suddenly she's this super supportive, very kind girl. In reality, there's no character development that led up to this. She made that switch simply because the fans were outraged. The fans were pissed off. Everyone was clowning on Amber. You had some big YouTubers making many videos clowning the character for how stupid she is and how bad the writing is, and then they suddenly make this switch where she's this really kind and understanding girlfriend now. And again, that makes no sense. That is writing inconsistencies. People don't change on a dime like that. It just doesn't work that way. Like, what did you think? Because I know you rewatched Invincible recently. What did you think about her whole tonal shift?
The tonal shift was kind of crazy to me. I was like, okay, let's see what they will do with it. As I am with most things I see, I try to keep an open mind. But as the show progressed, since Invincible has some good writing for the most part, I think it has some good writing. They will have the consistency, and that consistency included that the relationship just kind of reached its end because Amber knows what she's getting herself into of being in a relationship with Mark. But the fight always returns of like, Mark is invincible. He has to go out every now and then. And she knows it. And then she's just sad about it. And she goes to vent on Eve.
Yeah, my big thing is, I was kind of like, Mark, why are you taking this bitch back? Like, she was about to even cheat on him in that college episode. That one episode where she got mad at him for being invincible, even though she got mad at him for running away and disappearing, even though she knew he was out there literally risking his fucking life and limb to protect them. She knew the entire time. And she was about to cheat on him in the there was like this frat party, and she was like flirting with this guy, and because the guy came out and said he had a girlfriend, that's the only reason why Amber didn't go fucking, like, I don't know, get fucked in the bathroom or something. To me, I think her character is she's a bad person because she's one of these virtue signaling fucking losers. She thinks that working at a soup kitchen is more important than superhero work. I actually saw a meme. I saw this meme of it here, you know, and it's like him sacrificing his life and his own personal safety is less important than helping people at the soup kitchen, which is retarded in so many ways. My whole thing is with Amber, I just hate the way that they just flipped it. She just flipped her switch and she suddenly became this really supportive character. You could tell even from the voice actress, you can tell her line delivery was much more softer and kind, and it's almost like the executives came in and they're like, hey yo, listen, all of the bitchy tone and attitude, you need to tone that down because fans are getting really, really pissed off at what we're doing here, and it's making the ratings of the show drop, you know. So I think that's what makes this character, her writing, bad. You don't switch a character over instantly like that. You have her and Mark, you have them come together and have a very tough talk, a very tough and uncomfortable interaction where Mark is justifiably angry at her and not just the simp who's willing to accept, oh, I'm sorry, and then that's it, and then now we're a happy couple, you know. What do you think though, from a writing perspective?
I agree with you if they actually wanted to write Amber in like a more positive light, if I'm being honest here. But it was kind of unnatural as well, and it just reached its natural conclusion. They just broke up.
To me, I think them breaking up A better reason for them breaking up shouldn't have been, oh, he's a superhero and this life is dangerous. I think the better reason should have been, here's the thing, you knew I was risking my life and you treated me like dirt. You know, you yelled at me, you scoffed at me, you made it seem like I was doing something wrong the entire time. And I can't be with someone like that. You know, and her maybe seeing the error in her ways, she can apologize and maybe ask him for, you know, one more chance. You know, because he's been always asking her for one more chance throughout the entirety of season 1. Maybe you have it flipped this time, so that way it looks like she genuinely cares about him. But instead we don't get any of that. There's no depth to it. The relationship comes to an end because Anissa, you know, pretty much almost ripped her fucking head off. And I'm happy they broke up so that him and Eve could, you know, go save the world together. This is one of the main reasons why many fans like really like Atom, Eve, and Mark being together. And no, it's not because she's white, you fucking racists out there. It's not because she's white, you absolute idiots. It's because she is just a better girlfriend, right? She's more understanding of the situation that he's in. And honestly, she has been a better fit for him since season 1. You know, it just took a while to get here, you know?
Oh my god, it was such a slow burn seeing them together, but I loved seeing them together finally.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, I want to wrap this up by talking about Orihime and Ichigo here. Like, you're more of a Bleach expert than I am. I know for a fact that even in early chapters of Bleach, because I used to read the manga as well, I remembered seeing small moments of chemistry between Ichigo and Orihime, and I think that they did a good job bringing them together as a couple by the end of the series. But what do you think?
Much like other shonen, Bleach isn't one for romance. I don't criticize it much for that, but there is a lot of like romance in it.
Yeah.
So I do, to an extent, also value its writing for that. And I don't think Ichihime is the best relationship in writing. Far from it. I think Ishin and Masaki or Gin and Rangiku are the best ones. But I do like Ichihime a lot. And I think the way it was executed upon reflection of being in a actual relationship for real, it's like, oh my god, it actually works so well. And the way it was like subtly built up as it like went on through the story, and there were signs that I noticed that I didn't notice beforehand, like the way Ichigo acts toward her differently, the way that he addresses her specifically, the way he treats her. It's all, I have to connect it all to Ichigo because nobody would notice it the first time, if I'm being honest here.
I remember noticing it the first time reading. It was kind of obvious that he had more of a thing for her than Rukia. Because I know a lot of people argue that Rukia should have been the one to end up with Ichigo. And I don't think so at all. When you look at the dynamic between Ichigo and Rukia, it's more like a brother-sister dynamic. She's this annoying little sibling that lives in his closet. Compared to the way he interacted with Orihime, he would always try to like be protective of her. He has a hard time making eye contact with her in like the early stages of the manga as well, which indicates, okay, I kind of like this girl. You know, I like this girl. I don't want to make it obvious. You know, that type of stuff.
Because guess what? Ichigo isn't the type of guy to be very showy of his feelings. He kind of just keeps most of these things to himself. So that's why you have to kind of pay attention to how he acts towards Orihime.
Yeah.
And also, unlike Sasuke and Sakura or Mark and Amber, literally Orihime is just the best fit for Ichigo, and I do mean the best one.
Yes.
She doesn't act toxic to him. She accepts him for who he is. She saw him at his worst and still supported him, and doesn't want that thing to happen to him again.
Exactly.
Ichigo saw her having flashbacks to when he killed Okiura as Full Hollow, and then Ichigo just reassured to her first thing that it's still him.
Exactly. And again, it's like that their dynamic is one that has a healthy back and forth compared to, again, Sasuke and Sakura here. You know, this dynamic isn't healthy at all. It's just bad. And the conclusion of this dynamic should not be, oh, and they lived happily ever after. That's bullshit. That's bad writing. If you were to really pair a couple like this together, Sakura would be dead. If we're being honest here, like this chick would have died or be in an abusive relationship, and technically she is, because let's go back to this real quick. Neglect is a form of abuse, and Sasuke has neglected Sakura for 10 years. He's actively avoided going home. He's like, man, this bitch is so fucking annoying, man. I don't know. Last time I saw her, I showed her an illusion of me crushing her ribs and stuffing my hand into her chest. You know, I don't really want to spend any time with this bitch, even though she's making my baby. You know, and again, like, they try to wave it away and claim that, oh, he's just been away because he's protecting the village. Like, brother, we're not in war times anymore. You don't need 10 years of protecting the village. You can literally teleport home whenever you want, and you actively choose not to. So yes, Sakura's relationship is abusive compared to Orihime and Ichigo's relationship. This is a much healthier dynamic here, and it's been built up in a way that you can clearly see they are right for each other from early on in Bleach. But that's just my take. If you guys watching, you guys agree with what we had to say in this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you disagree, let us know why in the comments below. And if you would like to become a character in my comic series, all you gotta do is donate to the PayPal link. It's gonna be in the pinned comment down below. If you need your face censored like this young lady right here, let me know and I will censor your face, but you will still receive a character. You must be 18 years and older to become a character in this series, as it is going to be an adult dark fantasy action series. There's going to have things like partial nudity and lots and lots of violence in it. We're talking about very adult topics here. So go ahead and add me on Discord if you want to send me your image directly, or you can add me on Twitter and follow me on there. Send me a DM that you're interested in becoming a character. And besides that, you guys have a good rest of your day.
Stay spooky, fellas.
Yeah, later.